Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday Morning Real Estate Marketing Show with Ruthie Rocks, Ruth Allbrand, and I am Marketing Max. This is show number 450. And today we're actually waiting on our guest right now, Mr. Jack Lindberg, I believe, who's going to come on and is a returning guest to talk about cybersecurity, which is a big issue these days. I don't know if everyone's seen, some of the email and even now the text hacks that are being attempted on us right now by these hackers to steal our information. But I recently just got hacked myself. Someone filed an unemployment claim under me, so that was kind of interesting. So I had to go through the process. My HR company my HR at my company actually said, like, Max, did you file an unemployment claim? No, I'm still working here, obviously. So I had to go through the website. There's actually a Nevada fraud employment claims website, which if anyone from the Nevada Department of Labor is listening, please update this website because it looks like a hacker hacked your website and is and forcing us to fill out a form to get our information. So,
wow.
But it's a big topic now, and a big security risk and a big liability risk to especially the real estate industry. But before we get to Jack, if he gets on the show today, Ruth, what is happening in Las Vegas?
Well, of course, Las Vegas is on fire. It is hot.
On fire. Right?
It is hot. And
right.
Let me put the stats up here to just get us started. There we go. I'm gonna.
The real estate market's so hot in Las Vegas; it's changed the temperature this winter.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Right now in Las Vegas.
Yeah. So. We've got 0.85 months of inventory. That's the news. Only 2,387 available homes. And last month we sold 3,265. So we got to get more listings, but we did list 152 homes yesterday, which I was just delighted. And then we put 132 under contract and we closed 157. So we're teetering there. We're not making any headway to increase the inventory. And it keeps going down a little bit. I think we gained 2 homes from yesterday till today, or Thursday to Friday. So, but only 2,387 available homes. And of course, that means new homes are selling, and I don't report on those stats. I don't get those until I don't get those weekly. So, but I'm going to start putting those on because, we're going to need to know that information as well, more than ever. Last year, we did about 800 to 1,000 new homes a month. Wow. And I think we started January with about 1,100. I think my stats said. And I've got to start now with February, and maybe I'll get that next week. I have a great company that I deal with, Applied Analytics, and I subscribe to their information. So I will get that for us next week. But in the meantime, we have done 1.151 billion, 152 million more in volume than last year to date. And that's an incredible number. Right. Yeah. January through February. It's just amazing to me. So this year we've done $3.7 billion worth of real estate sales in volume. That's taking the price of the home times the number of homes that's sold. And it's incredible to me. And I mean, I love it because agents are making money. Everybody's very busy. I mean, the pandemic's been busier than we've been in years.
Yeah, absolutely. You were absolutely right last year. Right around April, May, June, you said, we got to do 12 months of work in 9 months. And that's absolutely true. Yeah. And it's incredible. I know it definitely feels like 2004, 2005 frenzy right now from a price standpoint. Well, I'm not seeing, though, especially the new home communities. I don't know if you remember, Ruth, but new home communities back in, over in that 2000 to 2006 frenzy, they had like wait lists where people lined up at the communities for, days or whatever to get in line. I'm not seeing that quite yet, but
not yet, but the pent up buying is there. It's not going away. I mean, there are more home buyers now than ever. And, here's what's happening, everybody. If you look 10 years ago, a lot of people were still upside down in their homes. And so they didn't want to sell, which meant they didn't want to buy. But that time's over. We've appreciated since 2011. Homes have appreciated. If you bought your home in 2011, it was worth, the median price was $120,000, and now it's $345. So that means you've got $225,000 worth of equity if you bought in 2011.
Right.
Now that's not even counting the people that have bought before then and went upside down. So that's that. I don't think people realize the backlog that has generated, and it's going to continue through the future, because we've got all people have money and the interest rates are low, and homes are getting older, so people want newer homes. So there's that whole dynamic is just meshing, and
right.
Our market's going to continue to be like this.
Yeah, it's probably looking out to be extended now for another maybe 2 to 3 years. Where this market continues to run up like it is here, especially in Las Vegas. I mean, we're still kind of being heavily affected, obviously, by this whole coronavirus situation, pandemic, with tourism and travel not here. Yet our real estate market continues to run up here. Imagine if our town is humming again like it was, pre-pandemic, and both outside people coming in and locals able to afford to buy homes. I mean, it's just going to continue to drive prices up. I heard like a weird number. Is it like prices went up 13%
last
year?
Mm-hmm.
13%.
Yeah, so even if you bought a home last January and you want to move, you can do it and not lose money. And that's the outcome of that, the result of that. So, we talk a lot about what's going on in Vegas, and the resorts world is going to open this year. They're going to hire 6,000 people. More and more people are going down to the Strip. So things are cooking, and we don't see it because it's inching. Which is not bad. We're doing that little check mark where every month we get a little better.
Exactly right. So conventions are booking now. I think the earliest convention is June.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah. So June. That's a little early, but we'll see. Sislak, Thursday opened up to 35%, ticked everything up to 10%. And local, I can tell you, local casinos are still doing very well. I mean, if anyone's ever been to the Red Rock, Santa Fe, or any of the local casinos, I mean, it's like regular times again. It's kind of incredible, actually.
It is, and getting a reservation is not easy.
Right.
It's you gotta get them in advance. I think lunchtime is probably easier than dinner, obviously, but still, sometimes lunch is difficult depending on what time you go.
Right.
But yay, Las Vegas.
Yeah. I mean, this town is
Golden Knights.
Yeah.
I nighted up.
You did night it up.
Yep. One of our staff had a party for me last night because my birthday's tomorrow.
That's right, Ruth.
Yes,
that's right. Your birthday's on Valentine's Day. Can't forget that already.
Right. And so one of my employees, Joe, made me this, and I failed to have time to get it out of the garage. I put all my presents in the garage, and it's a beautiful picture of a knight, and it says "Night Up," and that's the new night slogan, "Night Up." And so I've nighted up for today. I think we're still in number one position here, so that's really exciting. And you're talking about the National Basketball Association bringing. Have you heard any more about that?
No new news right now, but. It is in the works right now. So Seattle's going to get their team most likely, and then the second expansion team, I think Las Vegas is in the running here because we have the facilities now to do that.
When do you think that'll happen?
Probably 2024, by then. Yeah,
that'll be like that.
Yeah, it's already going fast. So, while we're waiting for our guest here, Ruth, I do want to talk a little bit about what happened with Zillow this week and their buying of both Showing Time. And actually, I saw this morning, I had an email. This is the importance of staying in touch with your center of influence here, because I got an email this morning from Zillow saying that they're replacing the Zestimate, and the Zestimate's actually turning into a actual initial offer
Yes.
So, for every consumer that has the app and claim their home, right, on the app, basically they're removing the estimate and replacing it with an initial offer. So basically, know exactly what Zillow would be willing to pay for your house, uh, pending appraisal and things.
Yeah, and I put up here the gorilla, the 800-pound gorilla in the room for real estate agents, and we had our fifth Buffini class, 5 of 8 yesterday. Every Friday we meet, and we have a nice group of agents who are learning how to stay in touch with people and dialogues and overcoming objections and how to mirror people and how to not overwhelm people with questions, but ask open-ended questions. All those things, agents need to learn the science of their craft.
Mm-hmm. No,
And that's what we're doing.
More importantly than ever right now. And
Yes.
and going back to like building relationships and connections is what, especially coming out of this pandemic, people are craving just the community, right? And connection and the old style of, I think I saw on one of your posts this morning for the show is just to, go out in this spring and this summer, as things open up again and as people get comfortable, it's like, go do drop-ins, walk the neighborhoods, get your face shown. Because that's going to be the differentiator,
it is
in the future here. Because as we move more and more to technology, right, you as a single agent and even as a small broker here are not going to be able to compete with the Zillows on a technology front. Unless you have $1 billion sitting in the background here to spend on marketing and technology and human capital, you're not going to be able to compete with them that way. But that doesn't necessarily mean you can't compete with them.
Right.
You just can't play the same game that they're trying to play, and you got to utilize the different avenues that has worked for now almost 100 years,
112 years,
right?
Exactly.
on how to sell real estate here.
Yeah.
And it's the combination of leveraging the technology that you do have to communicate and keep in touch with people, but also following up with them with the human touch side that will differentiate you from every other person out there and from a big company like Zillow.
Yeah. And you keep talking for a second. I want to show people something.
Yeah.
Well, we have 5.5. I know it by heart. We have 5.5 million house sales per year. And if the average 5% commission on a home of, let's say, a $250,000 home is $12,500, and Zillow does 68,000 of those, right? They're going to have gross revenues of 5.5 billion. Mm-hmm. So that's the big gorilla. Is we're the golden goose. I mean, $68 billion is what our industry generates, and if they take just a piece of it away from us, 10%. First of all, they took a couple percent. Now they're getting 1.25% last year. Mm-hmm. It's going to be 5% easy this year, and maybe go up to 10%. So you just don't know where they're headed. But in the meantime, it gives us time as agents to start making those connections. And because Zillow's going to go after that time element. If it saves people time,
right,
then they want it. Do you hear an echo? Does anybody hear an echo? I hear an echo. I don't know why.
I don't hear an echo, Ruth.
Okay, it's just me hearing myself. Maybe I'll turn my speaker down. Something is echoing in my ear. Anyway, so what I'm saying is that it's going to save the consumer time. Zillow is making this transaction seamless, and then they're adding. They made 17 acquisitions last year, which we don't even know what they were. But what Richard Barton, the CEO of Zillow, said is that he is going to make this transaction not only seamless, but he is going to do other things for people. Turn on their utilities, get their internet set up, help them move, do all the things that make this a time-saving effort, not just buy and sell the home. They've got the mortgage company, they've got the transaction platform now. They've got showing time. They're doing all this to make
Mm.
their transactions seamless. And the
I,
commissions will go down once they start hiring employees versus, you know, other agencies like they've done here in Vegas. And they have to give away a lot of their profits when they do that, but they're going to become their own brokerage. And so they can hire their own agents. They're going to be employees. They're going to offer them benefits. They're going to go after the good agents. I'm sure they've already figured out. I say 100 grand. They're going to go out after the agents that do a deal a month, and they're going to turn them into machines that do 4 to 5 deals a month. They're going to net $1 million out of that agent. So they've got it all figured out. If I can figure it out in 20 minutes, they can, they certainly have figured it out.
Right. No doubt. And I imagine a day, I mean, yes, moving is a big hassle because you got to, turn off your utility at your old place, and then you got to turn on your utilities at the new place. And then, I don't know if anyone's ever called Cox or a utility company during this time right now. I mean, your wait times are pretty terrible right now. And so I imagine a day when, maybe we go to the closing table, probably virtually, maybe
yeah,
from a home, right? But you have all the documents necessary that for you to sign, for you to put in your bank information right then and there. That so when you take keys of the home, your internet's up, your sewer's set up, your water's set up. I mean, you don't have to be calling people and and establishing all those things. And if we can refine that process as a community, as an industry, somehow, I mean, that's going to be better for the consumer, and that's what they want, and that's what Zillow's banking on, right? Is the ease and the efficiency. And if I'm a broker right now, right? I mean, this is being a broker in real estate is. I don't know why you guys are brokers in real estate. I keep saying this. I'd rather be a broker on the mortgage side. You guys make more money anyways. But anyways, I digress. But if you want to, compete and actually add value and build a team, you got to start doing more than just technical, whatever training, that you call your, to your new employees, and actually help build processes and be an advocate for the industry as a whole to make changes here. Because I mean, change is coming, and it's coming fast.
Well, like I told Jimmy Dague yesterday, I said, this is going to affect brokers.
Absolutely.
When Zillow comes in this town and we have 14,000 agents, of which only 2,500 are productive. So you've got let's say 12,000 agents where brokers aren't making any money off of those agents. So let's say that they're making money off of 5,000 agents, and Zillow comes in and hires 1,000 of them.
Right.
That's going to dent and they're going, like I said to everybody, they're going to take the productive agents and make them a deal because they know they can make them machines. If an agent's doing a deal a month or a deal a week, they understand the process. And so Zillow is going to take the cream of the crop as much as they can. And that's going to hurt some of the brokers. And I think brokers need to start offering maybe other services as well to keep the agents that Zillow doesn't get, like concierge services. I know Aaron Taylor has he has a concierge. I mean, he does a lot of deals. And so he has a concierge that walks the client, whether it's a seller or a buyer, through the entire process so that the journey is a pleasant one. And so that they give referrals. It's all about getting referrals, live by referral. So, there's a whole logical process there. And brokers are going to have to get on board.
Right. Because eventually it's going to be, real estate agents are going to be very similar to like mortgage agents as far as like they're like companies like Quicken, Loan Depot. They're going to build call centers here. I mean, where real estate agents are sitting on the phone, right? And make no mistake, these guys make money. I mean, they make a smaller percentage, but they make it up in volume. And some of these, mortgage agents, that work for Loan Depot and Quicken and those big companies and call centers are making, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. And they have nowhere near the headaches that an individual, agent working for a broker has. So, I mean, they get fed all the leads and all they do is follow up and calling. And so, I mean, that's the competition, but that doesn't mean that, individual agents are going to go away, both on the mortgage side and the real estate side, because there's enough business to go around. But that does mean, though, like it's not going to be as easy moving forward here to gain business. And the professionals, the ones that, do what you're talking about here, Ruth, on the show, right? Get really serious about their marketing, get serious about how to build relationships and build that list of 1,000 people that, they have really strong connections with. And that's always been the magic number. You get 1,000 qualified buyers and sellers, and you can build an entire career, like a lifetime, and you will make a lot of money. Right? Because if you think every 4 to 5 years on average, people move. Right. And if you have 1,000 qualified buyers and sellers on your list that you continue to cultivate and build relationships with, I mean, what is it? So every 45 years, let's say like 25% of that 1,000 people are doing transactions every year.
Right. It's a lot.
It's a lot. 250 transactions. That's like, you'll be, top 10 in every market doing 250 transactions. Right.
Yeah. I don't like the term rocket science, but this isn't rocket science. It's work.
It's work.
That's and it's dedication, but you can have a lovely lifestyle and, you can go on vacations, you can do things. If you've got your systems in place, you can handle 4, 5, 6 deals a month. And even if the commissions go down, you can make over 100 grand a year. Right. Most brokerages now are 100%, and they just charge a small transaction fee. That's what we do. So I'm sure, the big franchises might get hurt a little bit in the next couple of years too, because of their franchise fees and their commissions. They're not 100% basically. So those people may suffer some losses as well. But I always say in the back of my mind, they've got the brick and mortar they have to pay for. But those agents that aren't doing any deals, they're not making or losing money off of them, basically.
Right. Exactly.
It's just that they're, except with the brick and mortar, they have to be able to accommodate those people. But, I think that's going to change too. And EXP has made a big dent in the market with, the virtual real estate company. And everybody thinks of EXP as an MLM company, and okay, fine, they are, but it also lets you see that Zillow could become a virtual company and not be MLM. Our company could become a virtual company and not be an MLM. So anybody can become a virtual company. Somebody like Berkshire Hathaway could easily become a virtual company. I mean, they've got all the training modules. They just have to set up the platform. So that would be their initial expense. And then they could get rid of a lot of their brick and mortar, and platform would be much less than the brick and mortar.
Absolutely. And now with the technology, I mean, they don't have to really build huge call centers. I mean, everybody can work from home.
Right.
And what do they say? The things that you can expect in life, death, taxes, and change. I mean, those are the 3 things that will not ever go away. And part of the human experience is to make sure you adjust and survive by adapting. Darwin's theory is not the survival of the fittest. It's actually the survival of the most adaptive. So, and that's what's happening in this industry right now. But the good news is this, like, I can tell you right now, all the really good agents right now are happy about this because they're preparing, they're doing the work, they're getting right. And there's going to be less competition 5 years from now because it's going to be a lot harder, for newer agents or agents who think they can just, treat it as a hobby to be very successful. I think agents are going to be professional ones.
They're going to what? You cut out there for a second.
Oh, I think the agents are going to make the really good agents are actually going to make even more money because their service will be a premium.
You're right. And one of the things that I was thinking when you were talking there is communications need to get out of the business. It is a customer service business. And if they don't like that part of the business, they need to get out of the business. And I think you're going to see a lot of agents do that because it's tough, as we've said. And you have to have systems, and you have to be on the ball. And if you're not communicating with people, and Zillow knocks on their door and says, hey, I can close this deal in this amount of time, and it's only going to cost you this much, which is what I want to to bring up that point. Zillow has said years ago, when they first started on this journey of their platform, their new platform, their new business model, is that initially it might be they were going after the bottom of the market, and the bottom of the market is the people that need to move quickly and have that equity that they don't care about losing. Okay, and so that's 5 to maybe 8% of the market. There's always those people that need to move for whatever reason or got in financial trouble. They need to sell their house. You're always going to have that part of the market, and they started there. Okay, they started there, which again was a very good idea, a very good business move. But Richard Barton said, along with the other iBuyer platforms, they said that over the years, they will work their prices down to where they're competing with the realtor's commission. Now, here's the one thing that I want everybody to maybe think about. You know how we poo-poo the reduced commissions? The people that are offering reduced commissions. Well, that might not be a bad idea, because Zillow can't go too low because they've got to make money.
Right.
So that's one thing we might need to, I know it's 2.5 now, and those things are going to become public in March because of the Department of Justice and the NAR lawsuit settlement that happened in November. And they gave NAR till March to make sure everybody puts the buyer's commission, the seller's commission right in front of the consumer. Because of Sherman's Antitrust Act, we have to know who we're paying and how much. So that's going to become that's going to be something that real estate agents are going to have to wrestle with, and maybe even the big franchises are going to have to reduce their fees. There's just I just see a lot of change coming from that perspective. But if everybody hangs in there and you learn how to do more deals a month, maybe you have to do one more deal. 600 now, it's 12,000. Exactly. So come on. Our cost of living hasn't gone up that much.
No, not to triple your, not triple.
Right.
Right. So yeah, I mean, and that's going to be a matter of fact. Once things starts getting commoditized, right? There will be price pressure, and that's normal. But you got to adjust to that, and that's why you got to build a brand. That's why you got to build and elevate yourself in the marketplace and differentiate yourself so that you become the person that people will think about and go to and are searching for. And they don't mind paying, especially when you start getting into, the $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 homes, right? No one's necessary. I mean, the people in that market that are what I call penny pinching are very small. They're only penny pinching if they don't see the value. But if you already establish a celebrity type of status and they're coming after you, you can always charge a premium, right? And it won't be questioned as long as you deliver. I mean, that's the caveat. If you're going to charge, and especially now, I think real estate agents need to be prepared now, right, to justify their commission, because now the consumers and now you're going to make $8,000 off of this, and now you're not answering the phone when I call you, all right, to ask a question. It takes you 2 days to get back to me. That's going to cause a lot of friction here. And you got to be prepared for that. I mean, it's going to force everybody to be more professional, which isn't necessarily a bad thing for your.
No, it isn't. And like I shouted out yesterday to my group, I said, come on, start farming your neighborhood. That gives you an instant bond with the people that, you want to become a listing agent for. As soon as you know that neighborhood and you start sending postcards and personal notes and items of value and pop buys and all those things that we teach and preach with Buffini.
Right. Get on the board.
Because it's a proven method, right? Yeah. If you are marketing your neighborhood, there's a bond there. People know that you love their neighborhood, that you know their neighborhood, the different floor plans, and that gives you a right
distinct
away
advantage, right? And not only that, I mean, there was a real estate agent actually in California in my friend's neighborhood that did something really awesome. It was like every summer they have a movie night event, right, in the local park in the community, and she sponsored it, she paid for it, she set up the thing, whatever. But that's the type of thing you need to start doing again, right? If you want to be known, and join the HOA board. Like what a way to get free advertising and
Right.
develop, establish yourself as an authority in your community by being on your HOA board, right? So I mean,
Well, yeah, and an agent here at Red Rock Country Club was on the board and got a golf cart. Well, I don't think he was a golfer, so he bought a golf cart and he rode around, meeting people, because in our community, people take walks, they walk their dogs. And he'd say, hey, this is Joe. Hi, how are you? And, people got to know him. And then he could say, I'm on the board. Anything that you would like me to change or add or help you with,
right.
that was a great idea. And he's not here anymore. I think he moved away out of state, California or something. But anyway, I really applauded him. I thought, what a great idea.
Yeah.
Buy a golf cart, make that investment and go around your neighborhood.
Put your sign up, just like your car, like put your,
sign on your
golf cart. Or brand your golf cart. I mean, like do the wrap and everything, and make it stand out and people remember, people start talking about it.
Yes. And when we were Remax, we bought a Remax balloon that had arms and leg holes. And it had a little motor in it that kept it inflated. And so our idea was to walk around the neighborhood and send out postcards and say, on Saturday, let your children get their picture taken with Mr. Remax, right? And so we'd walk around. This was over in Desert Shores, and people would have their kids take their pictures with us, and the balloon. Well, we had a photographer do that. We would take the picture, make a magnet out of it, and send it to the homeowner.
There you go. I just thought about something really nice right now. Like right now, The Mandalorian is a very popular show on I think it's Disney Plus right now. Yeah, it's Disney Plus. But there's characters to your neighborhood or your farm is that the majority of it is young families. I would do like a flyer event like that, where you hire somebody. I think it's like $350 for like 2 hours or something like that. Someone to dress up as the Mandalorian, to walk around in the neighborhood, to come out and take pictures with the kids and stuff like that. I mean, that's something memorable, right? I mean, use the current events and times,
exactly
for marketing ideas. Create memories, right?
Yes.
That's the key. People, and one of the things that, people will always remember how you make them feel more than what you did for them. Right. We don't think because we played golf with them. It's because we laughed and we had a good time. And every time we saw them and, we had a connection. Right. Yes. So, I mean, focus on creating that for your fun that, touch them in a different way.
What's that saying? People don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care.
Right. Right. And that comes from that feeling part. Right. Yeah. So, I mean, times are definitely changing. It's going faster and faster, and it'll be interesting, right? It's exciting and nerve-wracking, but if you're willing to work and you're willing to learn and you're willing to adapt.
I always, and Max, I always say, let the change give you oxygen.
Right.
Let it give you energy to go down a different path and get creative. I think that we all have creativity in us. We just don't, reach in there and pull it out and use it. So you got to think outside the box.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to fight our alligator brain, right? Alligator brain tells us to find comfort and consistency in things. And it, it's a survival mechanism. It's not a thriving mechanism. That's the difference between your alligator brain and then the frontal cortex brain, which is, the alligator brain wants us to keep us safe, avoid all danger at all costs. Right. But that's not how we can't live like that in this type of society, in a capitalistic society that we're in right now, when there's so much opportunity. We got to, use the developed frontal cortex to use creativity, imagination. And that's what keeps us going. I mean, and that's what makes life exciting. Right. And as much as the pain that comes from change kind of hurts just a little bit, it's right. Exactly right. And Ruth, you're a great example of this, right? I mean, you're, 60, 50, 40, 30 years, you get younger every year. It's not because your body's not aging. It's because your mind is always looking to find new things, right? To get excited about.
Thank
And that's
you.
what keeps you young. And
It does. Yeah.
I can barely keep up with you, and you're 30 years my senior. So
well, thank you, Max. I appreciate those compliments. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Jack's going to join us, but I do want to make everybody aware that, to segue a little bit here,
Sure.
Max, the Georgia MLS board was struck by a cyber attack, and 42,000 subscribers were affected. And cybersecurity is something that everybody needs to learn about. And I'm kind of segueing into something here. Let's see. Let me put this down. Where is it? Where's my, okay, where is it? There it is. Sorry, everybody. This is our classes for this week. And one of them is the cybersecurity class, which is one of the reasons why I wanted Jack to come on the show, because we have an ethics class, and it's 3 core ethics, 3 CE core ethics, and it's cybersecurity. And Jack does an excellent job of going through 4 major things that everybody has to do to keep themselves cyber secure and their clients. And if you don't do some of this is going to become a required course, Max, because if your client gets hacked, or if you're a broker and your brokerage gets hacked and people's information gets compromised, then you could be sanctioned by the division for lack of what do they call it? Lack of doing your due diligence.
Yeah, negligence, right?
Negligence. Thank you. Couldn't find that word for a minute. Yeah, negligence to supervise, negligence to keep your agents on board with what they should be doing. And so they're really thinking of making this class a required course of all real estate agents, right, because it's becoming such a huge problem. And when droves of Americans took to the housing market amid the pandemic, fraud skyrocketed. And according to a new report from the mortgage and title fraud prevention company called Funding Shield, wire verification and ownership issues increased 32% between the second and third quarters of 2020. You got to listen to this, everybody. If it hasn't happened to you, don't keep your head in the sand, because it could happen to you. It happened to the Georgia Board of Realtors. 42,000 subscribers, their information was compromised, and any information about their clients that they had within that platform was compromised. So this is a major issue that people need to really take seriously. So we're doing an agency class on Wednesday, the 17th, from 10 to 1 on strategies for sellers, getting back to connecting with people. And then on Thursday, we're doing or is the 17th Tuesday?
Wednesday is the 17th.
Is it? Okay, cool. I said it right. And then the 18th is the cybersecurity class from 10 to 1. So we have agency and we have ethics. So 2 classes that you're going to need. And Max, maybe you didn't know, but if your license expires after October 31st, you need 36 hours of core education, not 24. And if you're becoming a new agent, it's going to take 120 hours, not 90 hours. So they have upped the hours of education, which of course makes me happy with our training center, and also with all the agents I have, that they have to take more education so that they don't get in trouble.
Exactly right. All right. Any last words?
Well, that was it for me. I just wanted to bring everybody's attention to the fact that the board got hacked and the agent's information got hacked. And please come to class and learn four ways to keep your information, your client's information, to keep your social media information safe, and to keep, like you said, Max, you got somebody fished you into that. They call it phishing, right? And so they took you to what, the unemployment? Is that what you said? What?
Right. They filed an unemployment claim.
Yeah. So. Yep. And that stuff happens all the time.
All the time. Yeah. And so if you, I mean, real quick tip, if you're still using a Gmail or a Yahoo account for your email here as a real estate agent, change that immediately. Right.
And it's so easy to change.
Correct. It costs a little bit of money to do so, but that's going to probably be a requirement moving forward. I'm surprised that they haven't made it.
Right. Hey, Kathy, thank you. And I'll give everybody a tip. It's very easy to go to GoDaddy and like Kathy's shipping there. You can have kathyshipping.com and or if let's say you're ruthallbrand.com or Ruth Allbrand NV. If there's another Ruth Allbrand, just put your state at the end of your name. And then your email address should be ruth@ruthallbrand.com, right? You need to brand yourself. That's part of branding.
It's
Part of the things that we're also, yeah. And it's very easy to do. If you already have a website, it can be directed to that new name. It's not a big deal. And if you need help, we're available to help you anytime. Just text me and I'll help you. 702-496-7653. I get lots of texts from people and I help people every day.
That's right. So, all right. Well, happy President's Day every weekend, everybody.
Yeah.
Enjoy Valentine's Day and happy early birthday to you, Ruth.
Yes. Right? I have one more year until I'm 3/4 of a century. I'll be 74 tomorrow, and then I have 30 more years to work. Right. I don't know if I'm going to retire, but we'll see.
Right.
30 more years. I said that wrong. I'm going to work 30 more years, and then I may take a couple years off for a vacation.
Fantastic. Well, have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you next Saturday.
Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Love you all.
Bye-bye.